Hi everybody and welcome to Jimmy Dragon Studios. I'm Jimmy Dragon. Well, here we are. It's the second week of Inktober52, and the prompt for this week happens to be shrimp. What is this, shrimp? Are we going to be doing a seafood theme this year for the Inktober theme? Honestly, I don't know how to feel about that, but the prompt doesn't have to be about the sea, I think. It's more about what the prompt speaks to you about, if that makes any sense. Well, this week's prompt speaks to me more as a description rather than an animal. So with that, I give you two characters that I used to draw back in high school. Meet Tiny and Jim. These characters were created when I drew little comics in high school to pass the time. Tiny was actually created by my friend at first. He modeled after the old gangster and mobster movies from way back, like the Al Capone style mobsters. He originally had two big goons who would follow him around. Jim was a character I created. Jimmy happens to be Jim's son. However, way back, I wrote Jim more like a Chicago cop, like in the old cheap 80s movies where the cop rode around in some fancy car, and you would wonder how a cop could afford that kind of car. Yeah, Jim drove a Ferrari F40. It was the big car at the time when I was writing these comics, and it was the thing in magazines that I saw, so that was the car I picked for Jim. Okay, so backstory's done for now. For this prompt, I created this short exchange between the two characters, like probably how Jim would meet Tiny on the streets. Jim would call him a shrimp since he was so small, but Tiny had a huge personality. He wouldn't take being called a shrimp, so of course he would get defensive and go on a tirade. Mostly Tiny is all talk, but as soon as he would send his goons on you, then you would be sorry. Okay, so this drawing I did in my sketchbook with black ink. I started with a pencil sketch and then moved on to the black ink. I do love inking. I think that is why Inktober has a soft spot to my artist's arsenal that I like to turn to. Inking is my favorite thing that I like to do. Anyway, I think it's time I show you the finished artwork here of my Inktober52 drawing of the word shrimp. I hope that you like this drawing. If you do like this drawing, you might also like this video where I started doing an Inktober challenge back in 2020 but didn't finish the challenge. It's a lot like this drawing where I ink a dragon and try to make a story out of the prompts. Maybe I should revisit that and finish it.